Hey guys, it's VS here. Today you're going to be watching my Assault KEM Strike on Tremor, which this is actually probably my best map for KEM Strikes. I have about half the ones that I've gotten on this map, and you'll see how. That's kind of what I want to talk about today is, in my opinion, the easiest way to get a KEM Strike. And first of all, I do apologize for how campy this game is. I wasn't really trying to go for a KEM Strike, the game started, and I realized it was Tremor, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for the Assault KEM Strike, and if I die, no big deal, I'll just use my streaks. And if I don't die, then I'll get the Assault KEM Strike. So that's what I did. I played kind of defensively and passively, really passively, you'll see. I pretty much just stayed around this building, and this is the easiest way to get a KEM Strike besides the care package, which doesn't really count. And this actually might be easier than this if you have the skill to use with sound whoring and everything like that. But that is the main and important thing. You just want to patrol this area because it's on free-for-all. You got to play free-for-all, and you want to use Amplify because that's pretty much the two biggest things, the sound whoring and knowing where people will spawn. And that's why you don't want to run out there and run away. You want to just stay in one area. And this has worked on other maps too. I've even got a KEM Strike on Strike Zone, kind of doing the same thing, just staying in one spot, which I'll probably post eventually because I haven't really been trying to go for rushing KEM Strikes and stuff like that. I will eventually, trust me, don't worry. But for a little bit, you're kind of going to see these really passive KEM Strikes. But I do want to talk a little bit about the perk setup I'd suggest. I'd run Specialist, not Assault. I was just using Assault to show you how easy it is to get a KEM Strike like this. But obviously first you want to use Amplify, and I'd suggest Scavenger and Off the Grid, Dead Silence, a lot of those cloaking ones, just in case some of the other people do get their streaks, like the SATCOM and stuff like that. So I'd use that and Sleight of Hand. For one of my setups, actually, I have Sleight of Hand, Dead Silence, Off the Grid, Amplify, and Focus as my starting ones. And then I have Hardline, Scavenger, the one that makes you run really fast. Or move really fast. Agility, I think, is what it's called. And I have Ready Up, On the Go, and the one streak where you can kill somebody and it doesn't show where they died at, which I don't think you really need that for free-for-all, because I don't think it shows the enemies where you killed somebody. And even so, you have the sound whoring so you can tell where everybody's going to be. And just watch this gameplay a little bit. I still have a couple more perks to go over, but watch the gameplay a minute because you'll see some of the spawn points that I constantly check. I go back and forth between like two, and I just patrol this area otherwise. And that's really what you want to do on this map. This map is the easiest that I found so far. There are some spots on Flooded and Strike Zone and some of those other ones where you can do basically the same thing. And this is just the easiest spot I found because you have the building underneath and above that you can run in and stuff like that. But back to the perks, I have the next one would be Blind Eye, which you also don't really need. That's primarily for, I think, streaks and stuff that other people get. So I'd use Incog over that probably because of all the target finder noobs. And then I have ICU because I like healing really fast. I think that that's a big part of this game if you can afford that perk, because your health is so low that if you do get hit and you survive it, you want to recover as fast as you can. The other ones are pretty self-explanatory. Amplify and Dead Silence are to sound whore better. Focus is to help win gunfights. Off the Grid is obviously for SATCOMs, and whatever else it helps with that. Actually might be it, I'm not sure on that. I just know it helps with SATCOMs, and that's the main thing. Sleight of Hand is really nice for when people are rushing you, which sometimes happens in free-for-all when they know where you're at, and you're getting high on a streak, then a lot of people will rush you. So you really want to have as much ammo as you can get, which I think in this game you'll actually see I have to pick up some other guns because I don't have Scavenger. So that's definitely why you want Scavenger. Hardline is optional. You can pick something else over it. It's just I haven't really found much that you might want to use. You could probably use the perk that lets you use enemies' SATCOMs. Wiretap, I think it's called. Yeah, I definitely suggest using that one actually over Hardline and the Gambler perk, which I have in my Specialist for some reason. I don't know why. I don't even think it really helps if it's in Specialist, but use Off the Grid and Wiretap and then the other perks that I mentioned. I think that's a pretty good setup for what you're trying to do. And this is really just to get your first KEM Strike. I don't want you guys to be constantly doing this. This is just to get you over that hump of getting your first one, and then you guys should be able to play a little bit better to rush around and get them. And I've gotten a couple rushing KEM Strikes. I got a Vector one that was unsilenced with a red dot sight. the other day on Chasm. It was I was kind of running their spawn, which was still kind of passive, but I was rushing their spawn, and it was more fast-paced. But unfortunately, I wasn't recording at the time because I was having issues with my computer, so that was kind of sucked. I think that's my first unsilenced like KEM Strike or Moab or anything, so it would have been really nice to record that. But I'll go for some more KEM Strikes like that, more entertaining things to watch. And I do have a couple other topics that I want to talk about, not in this commentary, but in future ones. Some good topics, I think. And that's pretty much it. If I don't reply to comments in the comment section, I've been meaning to say this, it's because YouTube's not letting me. I love replying to you guys, but their whole thing is so screwed up right now because of the whole Google Plus integration, and then all this copyright bullcrap that they're doing right now. That's kind of frustrating, but if you guys really want to talk to me person to person, just go ahead and sign up for Twitter and then follow me. And I try to reply to everybody that tweets me on there. Sometimes I miss them. Sometimes it's a couple hours later, and that's just mostly because it doesn't always notify me when somebody tweets at me. So I'll do my best, and I usually do a good job at it, in my opinion. I usually do a good job at replying to people. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, dislike it, and I'll catch you all later.
Friendly KEM Strike incoming.
Oh my god. This guy is so goddamn white. He just camping on him. This guy can't.